You are watching Father Fish, now please enjoy the video. You are watching Father Fish, now please enjoy the video. You are watching Father Fish, now please enjoy the video.
Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish. Let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that make fish. Let's talk about fish. Let's talk about fish. Fish.
Well, hi there. Happy to see everybody. EJ somewhere around here. I think probably she'll show up in a minute. She's been popping in and out trying to get this or that piece of equipment working. Right now, apparently she got none of it working. So we'll give her a minute to come on up. So who else here? Nala Fox is here. Hey, Nala Fox. Nala Fox is my 11-year-old granddaughter who did the intro.
Hi.
There she is.
Yes. Sorry. I don't know what happened.
Good. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Who else is here? Father Fish is here. Granwood is here. Hi, Gran. AJ, Craig Donahue, J.R. Patter. You know what I need to do? I need to get. I did it again. I always try to get things organized, and then I wind up screwing it all up somehow. I don't know how I managed to do that. EJ,
Hey.
nice to see you.
Nice
You got some fish today.
I did. They're already in here swimming around.
I'm sure we'll find them.
Eventually.
Not real likely. You might see one.
I did. They're already in here swimming around.
Yeah, they're tiny little buggers, I think.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh, I think I need to figure out my YouTube.
You're okay. You're okay. I'm hearing you and I'm seeing you. That's the best we can hope for.
Oh, well.
Let's think of it. Susan. Hey, Susan. Good to see you. J.R. Patter. J.R. Patter is John Patterson. He was our speaker last night. Any of you who missed the Venice Aquarium Society last night, John did a talk on collecting. He's been all over Central and South America collecting, all over the United States, and half of the rest of the world, I think, collecting everywhere. So it was a really interesting program. It is on live streams. I'll be posting his talk as a video, so you'll be able to catch that.
Cool.
And it was nice. It was really well done. We had a lot of fun with it, and I was happy to get John over because he did just one of the best presentations we've had in a long time. Oh, Johnny and Dan's Fish.
Mhm.
Johnny is saying, I'll be in and out, preparing for the drive to Wyoming.
Oh,
Big haul coming up. I've got one coming up too. My brother called me half an hour before our club meeting started last night. He said, pack your bags. And I said, I've been asking him to try to find a place for me to live up in Salisbury. Well, he did. He found a little cottage 2 blocks from where he and his wife are living. They sent me some pictures. It's very cute. It's small. I mean, really small. So we're going to get a greenhouse and a porch and do some other things with it to kind of stretch it out a little bit. But the game plan is to get up there by July 1st.
oh, so that's soon.
So yeah, a month and a half. So we'll see.
How are you going to do? What are you going to do with all your fish?
I don't know. I haven't really. I'm going to try to take what I can.
Mm-hmm.
I can carry fish. I mean, that's really not a problem. The problem is figuring out what to keep and what to take.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a real issue because I've got a massive amount of stuff in storage, most of it from my shop.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I got a lot of shop stuff. So we'll see. I'll start working on that next week.
Okay.
One
challenge at a time. One challenge at a time.
One challenge at a time. Yeah, exactly.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you broke up on that comment, but I think, are you using your phone or you're using your computer now?
I'm using my phone for the camera because it's really good, but I'm trying to work on the chat.
I thought so. Okay, well that's fine. So your audio is on the computer or on the phone? It's on the phone.
My audio, you and I talking, is on the phone.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I'm watching YouTube live stream on mute. Well, mostly the chat. Hi, Kevin.
Right. You might be able to switch the audio because you're breaking up a little bit. It's not bad, and I'm getting you, but at this point, leave it alone.
I'm still working on it. And school's the kids in like 2 weeks.
Right.
So.
EJ, yeah, I know. EJ got a new phone. She's trying to get all this stuff together. Every one of us struggle in this process until we finally get it nailed. There are 10,000 things that need to be done, and they all need to be done in the right order. And it takes a day or two to figure that out. So a minute to figure it out.
I'm trying. I'm trying to do too much at once right now. But when school's out in about a week and a half.
Yeah, let me explain to those of you who are new, Kevin, Susan, those of you who are new, what we're doing here. I've invited EJ to co-host with me on Fridays because she is a new hobbyist who has jumped in with both feet and developed some really effective expertise in about 5 months, 6 months maybe.
Well, I guess that's 6 months.
About 6 months, yes, since November.
Yeah, I can't do math on Friday now.
Right. And I just thought it'd be really helpful, particularly for new people, to be able to get her perspective as she and I are conversing. So you're not just getting an old man, you're getting somebody who's new and fresh and excited about the hobby. And doing a lot of good stuff and doing a lot of dumb stuff. But that's all okay because that's what we all do.
Definitely killed a lot of fish. I think I told you.
Yeah, you told me. Well, my response to you was, we're going to skip right over that and get to the keeping them alive and healthy and happy part. And here's the issue. The issue is there are lots and lots of new people trying to get into this hobby and trying to figure out what to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to the best of our ability, speak to the new people and help them to make the right kinds of decisions, take the right steps at the beginning so they don't have to go back and go back and go back, circle back and circle back to fix what they did wrong.
Or just completely up. There are so many people that tried their hand at either fish or fish in planted tanks, and then they just stop.
Right.
They stop.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no really good reason for that. If you get good advice, good help, good assistance right at the beginning, you can be successful immediately. Yeah, Kevin Rosenberg said, first thing I tell a new hobbyist, 1 inch of dirt, 2 inches of sand, look up Father Fish. Well, there it is. That'll get you there.
Yeah, that will.
EJ has got some extraordinary tanks. Just really remarkable. You want to pick up your phone and show us that tank behind you? Can
the Sunfish
you do that? You got one? Did one come out?
Yeah, I
She
think
just
so.
got these pygmy sunfish today.
Hold on. Yeah, let me find. Okay, there's the settings. I'm going to. Oh, good. They have a back camera. Okay. He was just trying to fight somebody in the back over here, or himself. There he is. Come on. I hope you're okay. I just put him in an hour ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I literally got them in maybe about 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I shipped these guys on Monday for a Wednesday delivery. They sat in Orlando for 2 days, and then they sat in Texas for 2 days. So they finally got there today, and they're all golden. They're in good shape.
You can't see him very well among the Rotella, but he's there. Can you see him?
What do you have for live food you can feed them?
I have tons of Daphnia.
That'll be terrific.
Yeah, absolutely tons of Daphnia. And I already have blackworms seeded in here. Oh, wow. This one's really bold. Oh, by the way, there were 6 in there and they were all alive. Oh,
I know, I gave you an extra one.
Yeah. Look at this one. He's like not afraid. Oh, hello.
There he is.
I thought he said I would never see him.
That's a female. That's a
female?
Yeah. The females are lighter colored.
They were all pink. So I was hoping that maybe they would color up.
Yeah, the males will. They got darker. That first one I think is a male. It's
okay.
Is that the same one? That's
yes,
not
the same one. No, it's the same one.
Is it? That's
yeah.
a female.
Oh no! Wait! There's another one. Oh,
Yeah,
there he goes.
I saw it flash. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one of my swords is
So the males.
And there's another one. I guess they like this side of the tank. I'm so glad they do because this is the spot. Like if you I'll move back. This is the side of my tank, the one that's like right next to my couch. And so in the morning, I don't know if you can hear me, but in the morning I like to sit and drink my caffeine and just sort of watch the side view.
Nice.
And that's my side view.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rigo wants to know what kind of filter you're using in your tank.
So I have 2 sponge filters in there. One of them's like already an established one from my old tank. And then I put a canister filter on there that I had from my old tank. Oh my God, this thing's gorgeous. But then I took, you
To the
know,
rummy nose. Nice rummy nose.
oh yeah, they're fun. There's one, I think it's that one that's particularly, I know rummy noses aren't very aggressive, but there's one that's particularly likes to throw his weight around a bit.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Patterson says Elisoma don't like a lot of light. They got plenty of places in there to be in the shadows. You know,
I literally the hour before the show, I was trimming and I haven't put the plant clippings back in that I want to, but I basically, because I think my, as you can see, my little aliens, and also I have a single Pandagara in there. Hi.
okay.
They just tore up the bottom of
Yeah.
my carpet.
Huh.
So yeah, I have to replant some of my pearl weed and, yeah. Look, there's a gaggle of a mono shrimp. What do you call those? Like a
I'm
flock of
looking.
them?
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
A gaggle of them?
Gaggle is good. Gaggle. I don't
They're
know.
shrimp. You can't call them. You can't call it a school.
Can't call it well. Right.
Mhm. Oh, here's the largest fish I own. Her name is Cleo. She's my true Siamese algae eater. She's just chill.
Yeah, she'll get turned into a horse.
Well, I think she's about full grown, actually.
Okay. Verily, I'm having trouble in my 45 tall. The pleco keeps plowing over my plants.
Yeah, that's why I don't keep plecos, because I read that.
Now, I've got plecos in my tank back here, a bunch of them.
Try this.
So I gotta show you. Last night, I gotta tell you this.
Okay.
Last night, I took my computer over to the club meeting and discovered when I got there I had left the power cord back home. Well, fortunately, I live 5 minutes away. So I raced back to get the power cord, looked down here, and there is water all the way up to the surface of the tank. And then I looked up, and there is no water in the 40-gallon tank. None. Bone dry. That happened in about 15 minutes because that's about how long I was gone. So I spent the next 10 minutes pulling fish out of it that were flopping around and putting them in here and in here. And I got some in this tank. I got a plecos. Two of my gold spot plecos were in there, and I thought they were gone, but I saved them both. Saved some rams. It's catastrophe. That apparently the bottom broke for whatever reason. And we have lost EJ again. And I lost my mouse. And I probably lost. Can anybody hear me? I wonder. I had to stream. I don't know what happened. Did I knock you off? I probably did.
Oh, it was me. I literally got this day and I fished today and I wanted to make sure we're okay before I figured out my phone. You know, life versus technology. Life won.
Right.
And then I needed to trim my tank because I thought probably then I did show you a picture. It was from
it was solid. Yeah.
it was from head to toe completely full that was 1 week of growth with the dirt system. That was 1 week of growth. That was, I mean, I had trimmed it the Friday before.
Would you sent that in Discord, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
That picture. Do you remember what channel? Oh, it was personal. It was DM.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I saw it. Here it is.
Yeah.
Let me blow this up a little. I can bring it up.
yeah, I hadn't had time all. And I
You're breaking up hopelessly.
oh dear.
There it is. There's your tank.
Yeah, that was an hour ago.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, that the bag is the bag.
Oh, really? The bag is the. Oh, yeah. I
And
recognize the bag, right?
he's my little peacock. Can you hear me okay?
Sort of. We're flashing in and out.
Okay. Oh, yeah, the I have a single beta fish in there, and he's adorable. He's so curious, and he loves to come up, and he knows that I feed him. So, but if you take a look at that picture, he's checking out the bag.
Right.
Yeah.
Verily is saying I've got a 6-year-old bristlenose, so I just keep trying sturdier plants.
Hey, Amazon sword is the
Yeah,
way.
absolutely. Amazon swords will work. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's different colors of them too. I got like 3 purple Amazon swords. Really pretty.
Oh, yeah. There are a lot of different kinds of swords. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah. You know what I do though is I found this mesh. Oh, maybe I have to show it. So it's like this. It's it's like a screen, like a window screen.
Yeah.
And I have like you cut them into like little pieces, and then I stick stem plants in some of the small holes, and then I half bury it in the sand, and so that way it stays stable. And
Okay, I got it. Right.
Have you done that?
No.
Oh well, it
I
works.
don't think I've done anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't have the problem. Probably because I really don't have big fish. Although I got a couple of fish I need to show you guys pictures of. Let me see if I can get up. I got 2 schools of fish this week, 7 in one school and 6 in the other. The largest one is 12 inches. The smallest one is 8 inches. So these are all big fish. They're Central Americans. Now let's see. One is called a bacardi. I'm going to show you pictures.
What is
B-I-U-R-T-I. Bacardi fish.
this?
It's a Pangasius bacardi. And I should have some pictures here.
Okay.
Yes. Here we go. Coming up.
Oh, very nice. They look a little bit like cichlids.
Well, they are cichlid.
Ah.
They're Central American cichlid. I've got some like that one. These are the biggest one is 12 inches.
Okay, how big of a tank would you recommend for something like that?
Well, they came out of a 300. We broke them up into 2 groups. We have actually 4 groups. Let me get the other one. The other one is called a pure Psi. Let's see. And John Patterson did not know what that was. Here it is. There's a pure Psi. Is that cool or what? And
those are gorgeous.
That's also a pure Psi.
That looks delicious.
Right, there it is. These are a little smaller. These are about 8 inches. They look an awful lot like the Waru, like these guys. They've got that black band on the bottom. I don't know if you can see what I'm showing you. Let's see.
Kind of. Ah, there we go.
Like that.
Like,
Like, yeah, there they are.
Yeah.
So,
They're still-
so I've got a bunch of those. We're going to sell a few of them. Anybody who knows what they are, express an interest, and we'll work out a deal. Because I've got enough. I want to be able to keep probably a trio of each, which means I'll be selling about a trio of each.
Okay. Bloodfin tetra. Kevin wants to know about whether they're aggressive.
No, they're not. No, don't assume that the word blood means anything other than color. A bloodfin tetra is not particularly aggressive. There are tetras that are, but like piranha, for example, but they're not among them.
Wait, are aggressive? I mean, they have a reputation, but every time I see them in action, they're generally skittish.
You did that was nicely done. You're distinguishing between predation and aggression, which is an absolutely critical distinction that I make all the time, except when I'm talking without my brain being in gear. So yeah. Predaceous, of course, is food, going after food. Aggressive is mostly related to sex drive. It has to do with breeding primarily.
Oh,
Some fish are aggressive, some are predaceous. Very few are both.
why is that?
I don't know. No good reason, I don't think. I'm trying to think of a fish that is both aggressive and predaceous. Well, a bass. A bass will fight. At least it'll fight other male bass. But it's not really a fish that goes after everything. It's not predaceous in that sense. There are fish that are just aggressive. They'll beat up anything in the tank. Central American cichlids, now the two I just showed you are not among them.
Really?
These two are neither aggressive nor are they particularly predaceous. They're vegetarians, and they're like, I don't know what, they're like sea cows. I mean, they're very peaceful fish. They don't fight with each other, which is unusual for a cichlid.
How come they're not more popular? Beautiful. Their color's amazing. They're about the size that people like for, I guess, the cichlids.
That's why.
Oh, never mind.
A foot. It's the same with all the Central Americans. Well, not all, but many. There are dwarf Central Americans, cichlids that only get 3 to 4 inches, and some of those are favorites. One of the most common ones is the convict cichlid. Although convicts can get big, they can get 8-10 inches. They're typically not. They're typically 3 to 4 inches.
Okay.
And the convict, now that's an example of a fish that is extremely aggressive, but doesn't try to eat everything it comes near.
He just doesn't like anybody.
It just fights everything it comes near, right? So they either try to eat everybody or they try to beat up everybody, but very few do both. I guess it would be counterintuitive. I don't know. That's odd. I never really thought of a fish that might be both. Somebody will probably come up with something in the chat. Let's see. John will have an idea if he's still around.
Kevin says the ember is aggressive, but aggressive in what way? Like aggressive breeder, I guess? Or you're going to have to say those words
The
again.
ember tetra. Well, there are some tetras that are aggressive. It's true. Chong Tui Sen is here. Chong Tui is in Malaysia. And I need to turn you blue. John made a comment in our chat today that was just delightful. I really appreciated it.
What was the chat?
I
Hey.
don't remember. It was something very nice about fathered fish.
Oh.
I try not to memorize things like that. Got a swelled head. Susan, strongest get to breed first, and other aggression is territorial and want to control the area. Right, and area control is also a sexual breeding pattern.
Now the sunfish that you sent me, and they're really out. I mean, I thought I'd never see them, but I've got he's turning blue. Oh
they do, yeah, they do get a lot of blue. That's the male. If you see blue, that's the male.
Yeah. So I mean, you were telling me that they breed very passionately. But
yeah. Go ahead. What did you want to say about that? Is that all you wanted to say about that? What they do is the male will establish a territory.
Right.
And it'll be pretty small. It'll be a territory about 6 inches in diameter or so, but it'll be in a half an inch of water. Maybe an inch, but more likely a half inch. In among plants that are growing right down into the water from the bank. So plants like baby tears, for example, grow that way. They'll grow right up out of the water.
Yes.
They'll be in that tight plant mass, and they will have established a little territory, and the females will be out in deeper water, like in a foot of water or more, typically in a grass mat, a floating grass mat. Mm-hmm. So when they get egged up and ready to spawn, they go in close to shore looking for a male to breed with, and they'll find one there, and they'll spawn. She'll lay eggs. He will fertilize the eggs, and then he does not take care of the eggs per se, but he maintains the territory. So he keeps anything out of there that is going to come in and be predaceous on the eggs. And the same then with the babies hatch. They'll find food in that immediate area because by being in very shallow water like that, they are where the bulk of the protozoan are living. In deep water, the 99% of the protozoan are living in the top 1 inch of water or less. Same with shallow water, or with like a little pond or a ditch or a swale. It'll be in that shallowest part that most of the protozoan will be living. So that's where the babies are. So they get lots of food right away. And if you catch them at the right time, you'll get a male, a female or two, and a lot of babies. And I've done that a number of times. I'll sometimes get more than one male, but not often, because they keep others pretty well at bay.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to add, you mentioned a little bit earlier on Discord today about replanting the plant trim, and I wanted to ask you.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, but real quick, Crystal's asking if pygmy sunfish okay to keep with 1 inch fish, and I have tons of 1 inch.
Yeah, not a problem.
I've got chili rasboras, green neon tetras. Obviously, I've got my rummy nose tetras, autosynclus. Celestial pearl danios.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They are not a swimming fish. They are a darting fish. In other words, they'll be in a stationary position, and then they'll be in that stationary position in less than an instant. They move very fast, and they dart. And they'll sit there and dart again. And they're very, very quick. They move very quickly. So that's how they escape predation, that darting behavior. So they're not sitting there with their fins moving. They're sitting there completely still. And typically, a predator will target on movement. If he sees fins moving or if the fish is swimming around, that's what the predator will target on. These guys don't give them that. They're either here or they're not here.
Yeah,
And it's like that.
it's really cute, I think.
Yeah, they really don't swim.
They just sort of hang out and then dart.
Yeah, so as a result, yeah, they can live with much bigger fish because they know how to. Now, I would not put them with angels.
Yeah.
Because the angel is the same kind of hunter. He's not a chasing hunter. He's a lurking hunter. So any kind of lurking hunter is going to be able to get him. A chasing hunter will have a lot more trouble, if that makes sense. Let's see. You were asking about.
We are.
We lost her.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you were sitting there not moving. You were asking about trimming plants.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about trimming plants. Obviously, you reached a point with that tank where you needed to do something to be able to see into it because it was pretty well blocked.
Well, yeah, that and the rummy nose, they like to move across the tank. Cool. And I feel bad when they don't have the room to do that.
There it is. Now, let's see. Can I do? Yeah, I can do side by side. Sort of. That's
Sort of.
me. That's. I don't know if I can or not. Maybe I can. I don't think I can.
Oh, well.
This is not set up to do that. That's. Oh, I know what I can do. I can do it. Here, let's do it like this. We'll move you here. And then we'll go like that. Or like that, even better. There we go. So this is the tank after pruning. This is the same tank 2 hours ago before pruning. So you can kind of see what the issue is.
It was it.
Yeah, it needed to be done. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Here's what's critical. If you are pruning and pulling the plants out consistently over a period of time, you will take all of the nutrition out of the tank.
What?
You'll take all of the nutrition, the plant nutrition out of the tank.
How does that?
If you're constantly taking clippings out, then you're taking the clippings of the plants are a product of the nutrition that's in the soil.
That would make sense. Okay. Yeah.
So as you take plants out, you are at the same time removing nutrition.
So
you can get away with it for a while, but eventually the nutrition level will drop below the point where the plants will be able to continue growing and they will stop growing.
So how do I fix that? Because
Well, there are two things you can do. Three things you can do. Number one, you can replant the clippings. And in a new tank or a young tank, it's important to do that to get the body built up.
Okay.
Number two, you can remove certain species of plants that are simply outgrowing everything else. Or just, well, you would just trim them. Anyway, you can simply take them out and replace them with something that's not growing nearly as fast.
That's everything in the tank.
It is, right. And of course, the other thing you can do is you can do fertilizer. The problem with fertilizer is that fertilizer is only half of the issue. The other half is the humic substances, the organics. And the plants need the organics in order to carry the minerals, if you will. It's the organics that carry the minerals. They're not absorbed directly.
I put a lot of pea oil in it.
Yeah, I like it. I like that for the same reason, because it's a very rich humic kind of a material, and it breaks down over a long period of time. So yeah, peat's good.
Yeah. I got so I saw video with I know you call him Lucas. Still think of him as the plant hoarder.
Lucas? Yeah.
And I saw how he was able to make the tank more acidic by using live sphagnum moss.
Sure. Now he has pretty soft water
Mm-hmm.
to begin with to be able to do that. If you have very hard water, that won't work.
It won't?
It will not work. No, it won't, because you won't be able to overcome the mineralization of the water. It'll be too high a GH or a carbonate hardness, which is what's going to hold that pH up. So you have to reduce the carbonates. If the water is relatively soft, then by adding a lot of plants that produce humic substance, it'll drop the pH. But it does not always happen.
Now,
It'll happen if you have the right kind of water.
will it happen in a tank that's more built humic?
You're going to say that again. That broke up totally.
Will it happen over time as the tank becomes more established?
Yeah, it will. It will. Well, it may. I found that my tanks in the shop did not. And I thought that was because I had very hard water. But that wasn't the case. When I finally one day I called up the water company and chewed their butt out about something.
Mm-hmm.
And the director of the water company walked across the street and came in my door and said, "What's going on here?" He took a very personal interest. And I found out some things I did not know about the water. They mineralize soft water. They create RO water out of deep well water. They mineralize it. They chlorinate it very lightly, such that I can put that water in my tanks and never have to use the dechlorinator, because it's such a small amount, it dissipates immediately. It really dissipates in the process of putting it in the tank. But what I discovered was that in time, the GH, the nitrates went up, and when the nitrates went up, the GH went up. The carbonate stayed pretty solid. I never wound up with acid water, which kind of surprised me, but I didn't. And I had those tanks set up for nearly 20 years, and they were all heavily planted. Now, I had plants coming in and out all the time, but they weren't nonetheless heavily planted.
Yeah, what do you plants that I know we're jumping a little bit, but what do you do plants that grow?
That do what?
Can you hear me okay?
No.
Uh,
Just say it again.
plants.
Okay.
Sorry, I hear you.
Just talk.
Okay, fine. You were saying that you need to replant nutrition when you leave, when it take with it, but you're selling plants from a tank. That means plants are going
in and out. Right.
How did that affect the nutrition of your?
You know, I noticed with this tank, this 35, this is my oldest tank. That's been set up more than 20 years.
Wow.
And I was growing Sagittarius and Vallisneria in it,
Okay.
like forest, and I was pulling them out constantly to sell them. Eventually, it stopped growing them. So I did exactly that. I pulled so much nutrition out of there, really out of the substrate, that it quit growing them. So I've been rebuilding it for the last couple of years, and it's coming back. I've got more other kinds of plants in here now that they're doing fairly well. One of the things that I am doing with my tanks is never breaking them down. That's not necessarily a good thing. I'm doing it as a proof test, demonstrating that the deep substrate will in fact live forever. What I'm really trying to do is replicate what happens in nature.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's not altogether the same because I don't have the continued volume of nutrients coming into the system that occurs in nature. Another thing that happens in nature, particularly in freshwater, is over time, as plants are growing in that water and dying back and growing again and growing new species of plants, it eventually becomes a bog. In other words, it goes from pond to swamp to bog, and from bog to field to pasture. So it eventually fills in other words. That water is still there, but it's solid with plants and with detritus, with soil, such that while the water is still there, fish aren't in it anymore because there's no place to swim. And that's normally what happens in standing bodies of water, like a fish tank. But we don't, that's something that would occur over a period of 50 to 100 years as a minimum, more often 200 to 300 years. I mean, I've been back to places where I collected as a kid, as a child, that no longer exists as a body of water. And it's not because they've been drained, it's because it's been overgrown. Just plants have grown in it and grown in it. They die back, they fill it up to the point where it becomes a marsh, then it becomes a bog, and then it becomes a field. Just
I remember reading, if there's an echo, Jesse,
I don't think it's an echo. I think the problem is that your microphone is picking up slower than you're talking. I think if you talk more slowly, that might make a difference. I'm not sure about that.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, except the word now we lost. Can you hear me was perfectly clear. The word now dropped off. So
Okay.
if you say all four of those words, 5 of those words, slowly, let's see if we get them all.
This is a terrible exercise. I talk very
I know you do. And we missed half of that. Ah,
God.
what's happening in the chat here? Let's.
There needs to leave back. How about I try that?
Try what?
I'll show you.
Are you going to go into the chat, are you? Ah, well, I'm not happy about that at all. What time is it? 9:20. We got about 10 minutes. Come on back up. We'll just futz around for about 5 more minutes. We're almost toward the end of it. What is she doing? Oh, she's on the computer now.
No, I'm still on. I'm just trying to check if it works. If they called it in the chat a reboot.
It's a little bit better.
A little better.
Yeah. Ah. What's in the chat here?
It says leave stream.
Yeah, Press Alpha was suggesting leaving and coming back. Yeah, I don't know what the problem is. Mr. Aquatic News, hello, hello. The auction was amazing last night. Kim Beth. I cut it off mainly because I was overwhelmed and our regular secretary treasurer was not there. So we didn't have the regular people keeping the books for the auction. And we had two ladies who were a little overwhelmed by it. I was feeling overwhelmed. I had done two things wrong that day. Number one, I decided that morning that I really, 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 really needed a sour cream donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
You diabetic?
Yeah, it wrecked my blood sugar for the day, and that's all I ate. I was over 200 all day. I was doing insulin, trying to get it down. It was a bother. And then my brother called 15 minutes before the meeting started and dumped this news on me about how he's got a house for me to move into. So I was a little overwhelmed. So that by the time John finished his presentation, which was well over an hour, I was almost rocky. And I decided I didn't want to deal with the auction online. So I just cut the stream.
Yeah. I wanted to come, but my son had a theater performance. So
I know, that's wonderful. We're going to get to see some video eventually.
I hope so.
Back up
If
tomorrow.
I can figure out this phone.
Now it's perfectly clear now.
Okay, good. It might
Perfectly. Now it's
who knows? I'm in the inner city, so we'll see. What is the chat saying? Beta Verily wants to know if her beta tank father fish style. She used fluval shrimp soil, but she mixed it with dried oak leaves and capped with black sand and black gravel. I'd like to see a picture.
I did a post today in Discord about this whole issue. Let me find it and read it to you because it's really interesting.
Okay.
I think it's under the Dirt and Substrate channel. Maybe. No. Questions and answers. I don't remember where I was. Somebody was. Okay, here it is. Under the questions and answers channel. And
Okay.
let me bring it up so we can look at it. The guy says, is this platted enough for fish without cycling? And the answer is no. I've also got a scoop of duckweed I'm going to throw in. That'll help. He says it's fluval stratum with the sand cap. Okay, here's my response. You have little nutrition. The stratum will be depleted in a few months. Stratum is a mineralized volcanic carbon material from Japan. It contains no humus and is not soil. It will not support life without the addition of biological material. Adding black cow manure, peat, and potting soil will create a rich substrate. So adding that to this highly mineralized material, it's good for it for what it does, which is to provide mineralization. The addition of fatherfish supplements increase the longevity of the mixture by up to 5 years, and some of what I put in the supplement is what some of the minerals are in stratum. After which the natural cycling process will be adequately established. So the principle is that the problem with fluvial stratum, and for that matter, any of the other mineralized soils, is that they're not soils. They have no nutrition in them. What they have is minerals. Minerals require biologicals to be able to carry the mineral into the plant. So you've got to have biologicals. If you just put a plant in a if you put a terrestrial plant in a pot full of minerals, it would not do anything. It would burn it up. I mean, it wouldn't grow. It
Kind of like
requires,
code if you put too much in.
if that's all you have.
Mm-hmm.
No, not necessarily too much. The issue is you got to have organics in order to be able to have soil.
Uh-huh.
Soil. What makes soil soil is organics, not crushed rock. Crushed rock is not soil.
Well,
Soil is a living substance, and the living material is organic material, any kind of organic material. So you need that in order to be able to use the minerals that are present. I
so
hope that answers that question. Does
yeah,
that
well,
question?
I mean, she did add oak leaf. I don't know how much, but
Yeah, that's a help. That's a help. What I would do if I were going to do that, I would mix the whole business with oak leaves, chop them up, make a mulch out of them, and load them into the dirt from top to the bottom. In other words, load up that fluval with organic material, with humic substance.
okay.
That's really all black cow is. It's humic substance. That's really primarily what potting soil is.
Can you substitute black cow manure for compost?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
But
Black
it's
cow manure is a compost.
well,
It's composted manure.
okay,
That's also sterile.
yeah. Well, what I
Yeah,
meant to say,
same
I
thing.
found, I saw this on Home Depot. They said it was compost, but it wasn't made up of cow manure in there. It was actually made of plant material.
Sure. Yeah. Well, see, cow manure is plant material
Oh, that's true.
with gastric juices.
That's true. That's absolutely true. It's kind of like that coffee bean
Yeah,
on that
right.
on the Madagascar island. It's processed by some sort of primate, and it's
Right.
worth
Exactly.
$20 or something. But
Right.
you're eating
It's a civic cat. A civic cat, right.
yes.
Little cat.
You're essentially drinking coffee that was
Pre-digested
pre-digested by
by a cat, no less.
by a cat.
So it's sticky cat piss.
Ah,
I'd love to, well, except it's not the piss, it's the poop.
right.
I'd love to go grab some mud from a local swamp, but here in Minnesota, those areas are protected wetlands, and taking anything away is a felony. Only in those areas that are protected wetlands. There are other wetlands that are not protected wetlands. They are designated as such. Not all, the government does not own every wetland in the world. No government does. There's some that they don't own. They may try to be getting them, but they don't have them all. So look for one that's not owned by the government and you'll be okay. There also are other, what's the word I want to use? Categories of protected biotopes. In some, like open prairie or like BLM, land management land, you can take off of those properties. That's federal land, but it's under Bureau of Land Management, BLM. It does not have the same level of restrictions as like a federal park or even a state park. So look into it a little more deeply. You'll be able to find places where you can collect. They don't own everything. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Yeah, Minnesota's pretty bad, actually. I've got family in Minnesota.
Do you really?
I do.
Minnesota. Crazy people in Minnesota.
Trailer parks, that's where they're from.
Well, they're all communists, you know. It was the communists moved into Minnesota 100 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's true.
Wait, my dad had the family.
Yeah, the Russians. Yeah, it was right after the revolution, and they were proto-Marxists, and they left Russia and they set up communes or colony communes in northern Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Which makes them also crazy. That's why they're nuts.
Oh, well, parks. That their version.
Sleep Fighter. What is Sleep Fighter? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Zombie Cat.
Who is I think somebody earlier.
Thank you, Press Alpha. I was looking at that too. I think what we'll do is I think we will kick his butt out. How's that?
Yeah. Next time I'm gonna do I usually just pull my hair back. I came from work, so
I like it. I really do. I think it's cute. And we can get rid of the stalkers. Which is,
this is why faceless.
We don't give them any room. I know. But it ain't on you. Here it is. Chong Shui Shen, my lord of my aquariums.
Oh, yes.
Setting up a planted tank. After 2 months, my plants are all melting. And he's got more to say here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I understand. Plants melting.
Yeah, exactly. He had the same experience you did. When he finally found me, everything began working.
Well, I mean, a lot of it was like by accident a little bit. So my plants started melting, and because I did do the potting soil, and I not before I met you. I actually, because I was cheap and I wanted to set up a 55-gallon aquarium, and so I went on the what?
Did you cap it?
I did with sand, but it wasn't as thick as
Oh my God. Alexander just sent us $100.
Yay!
Praise you, brother. Thank you so much. That'll go toward the moving fee. I'm going to be spending a fortune moving.
Oh,
Thank you so much, Alexander. That's amazing.
Thank you. So where was I going with it? Mr. Moneybags here just distracted me. I'm sorry.
Okay, right.
So yeah, potting soil, and I baked it because that's what the internet told me to do. Don't do that now. So
good.
And then I capped it with sand, but it wasn't. It was actually that 55-gallon picture that I sent you.
Okay.
For the picture,
right.
I guess. So and it worked great for about 2 or 3 months, and then the plants started melting, and so I started researching how to fix it, how to figure out why plants are melting, and that's actually kind of where you came in.
Okay. Yeah, there are some things you can look for that you'll find father fish, but not many, not near enough.
Diana Walstead, guaranteed.
It's true. I've said a lot about her. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a mono too. I want to do more Amano stuff
Oh, dude.
because
Yeah.
this is very Amano. And
Yeah.
people don't recognize that. They don't realize how that Amano really is the foundation in terms of the specifics of the soil. Walstead established the concept. Amano filled in the details, and Father Fish made it work.
And actually, what I liked about it, where I went from a faceless lurker to a commenter, and I intended to stay that way, but I liked how it was. You start asking questions or saying stuff that you've done, and you get all of the fish Nazis on you, and feel a little bit like you feel very small when you're really just trying to find help. And I didn't get that vibe with you, with the community, and then through the Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried. There's a channel that Walstead is on and Bill Barr. Those are the two. Yeah. It's a plant channel. And I went over there recently to have my say. And I got blasted. First of all, I got banned.
What? How?
Well, for telling lies. It's like disinformation. Father Fish is disinformation. Like that. I mean, really, I got banned. So they have a group that they hire that evaluates those. I got a hold of them. They were supposed to provide training for me to help me overcome my disobedience.
That sounds a lot.
By the end of the conversation, they were saying, "You're exactly what we need." So I came right back on with more of the same, and I just got shut down. The moderator was just so beside himself. Obviously, a 14-year-old kid, or at least somebody with a 14-year-old brain, because all he was doing was saying things that he had no knowledge of at all, but they were ingrained into his brain as somehow absolute truth. And it had no bearing on anything, really. But I realized that it was worthless for me to stay there.
Yeah.
So I just left.
Well,
do my own thing.
I do go on, and I mostly to learn. So that's where the lurking comes into play. But I didn't really start talking and actually asking the questions, because I felt like I could actually ask questions without having a bunch of people jumping on me, telling me that even coming to this place, I was doing it wrong.
Right.
And I don't know. It just, this is a much better platform, I feel, at least for me.
Well, I think it is for more and more people. We just need to get the word out. So here's the bottom line, guys. We need your help in this. We're going to try to put together some videos, more live streams, more attempts to reach new people with how to do what they're trying to do, so they won't fail. So whatever anybody can do to help us in that process. One of the first things I want to try to do is get. I'm going to try to do a video with EJ, in order to see if we can't begin to impact that population, because that's who we need to reach. We don't need to reach the people who are dyed in the wool, convinced that gravel is the salvation of the industry. We need to reach the people who really don't know and give them a chance to be successful from day one. So with that, Lucas is on.
It's a little funny if I know earlier.
Right.
Funny.
Lucas has been on for about 10 minutes.
Oh,
We're gonna all go visit Lucas now.
Okay.
Hey, Jake, thank you so much. We'll get the sound thing working.
Yeah. I have a little bit more time this past week.
Yeah. It's dropping words, and I don't know why. I assume it's a technical thing that it's got to do with the stream, probably. Maybe the rate of the stream. I don't know.
I'll figure it out. It might just be that my internet needs to be reset, and I didn't want to do that. So maybe next time I'll reset my internet before I go on.
Now, I got every single word of that without a break. That was perfect.
I need to learn how to speak slowly then.
I think that's part of it. And I think it's simply the Wi-Fi speed.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Alexander, thank you again so much for
Yes.
your very generous gift. It's deeply appreciated, and it's going to help us a lot as we get into next month and start figuring out what to keep and what to take and how to do it. So,
yeah, that will be very interesting to watch.
Really, I know. So God bless you all.
Yeah. Thank
Good
you.
to meet you.
I appreciate you letting me be here.
I appreciate you being here very much. It's a lot of fun. Take care, everybody. Bye for now. See you Sunday night with Mary Page. Love you all. Bye-bye.